Going down the only road I'd ever known. Like a drifter, I was born to walk alone.
The Kelce Swift universe is doing the absolute most again. First up, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce somehow inspired Cambridge Dictionary's word of the year after their engagement sent everyone scrambling to look up parasocial. Then, Travis and Jason stirred the internet into chaos with the New Heights teaser that had fans begging for Taylor and Kylie Kelce to appear together.
Made up my mind. Time. Here I go again.
And next, Jason opened up about how becoming a girl dad completely rewired his life after growing up in a WWE-level household with Travis. Meanwhile, Travis is still breaking records even as the Chiefs run out of ways to keep winning. And finally, Kylie revealed just how far Uncle Trav would go for his 4 nieces. And spoiler, he'd absolutely risk it all.
I do believe Uncle Trav would do this. I think Uncle Trav wouldn't think twice. It would be difficult to get it to him.
Imagine influencing the English language so hard that a dictionary basically says, yeah, you two broke the internet so badly, we had to pick a new word. That's exactly what's happening right now with Taylor and Travis, who are casually inspiring Cambridge Dictionary's word of the year because of course they are. So the dictionary rolled up on November 18th and basically crowned parasocial as the 2025 champion, and insiders are whispering that the Swift-Kelce engagement frenzy played a major role. Apparently, the moment these two dropped their joint August 26th engagement post, yes, the one that snatched nearly 40 million likes and broke the record for fastest to hit 1 million likes, people went full Sherlock mode trying to decode fan reactions. Suddenly, everyone and their cousin was looking up parasocial, while insisting they weren't being, that. Meanwhile, Swifties were joking about how they were being parasocial for 10 minutes straight, which honestly feels like the most Swiftie thing ever. But while the internet combusts daily over their every move, Taylor and Travis are just vibing like two people who accidentally became the global definition of power couple. Insiders say Travis has been telling friends that whenever he's with her, it feels like they're just two normal humans trying to grab a coffee without half the planet watching. Sure, they know the world is obsessed, but from their point of view, this whole fairy tale in the paparazzi wild happened naturally, despite the fact that every camera from Kansas City to Kathmandu tracked it like a Marvel origin story. Taylor, for her part, is clearly unbothered by the circus. She loves how Travis handles the non-stop spotlight she lives in, shrugging off the chaos like it's just another Tuesday. She even joked on a recent appearance that her name will pop up in a headline about something she isn't even involved in, and at this point she's learned to roll with it. And speaking of rolling with it, the Kelce brothers just dropped a teaser so chaotic, fans are already spiraling into full detective mode trying to manifest Taylor and Kylie Kelce onto new heights. The comment section is acting like it's the Super Bowl of wishful thinking. Travis and Jason pop up with their usual let's start yelling before the intro even plays energy, tossing a cheeky little teaser for Wednesday's episode. The post basically screams, "Here we go again," and fans took that as code for something big is coming.
Going down the only road I'd ever known. Like a drifter, I was born to walk alone. And I've made up my mind. Time. Here I go again. I don't know. Is that how it goes? I don't even know.
Yeah. Then the podcast account went ahead and stirred the pot further by hinting they're announcing a very special guest, or possibly guests, for an upcoming Monday episode. The internet, of course, did not handle that information calmly. Within minutes, the comments were a full-blown festival of celebrity name drops. Fans were tossing out guesses like they were playing Hollywood bingo. Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo, Timothy Chalamet, Serena and Venus Williams. Apparently, the Kelce brothers are supposed to summon every famous person with a pulse. But through all the noise, 2 names kept rising to the top like they own the place: Taylor and Kylie. Swifties and Kelce Nation showed up united, spamming variations of "Taylor and Kylie, please," like they were chanting in a rally. Insiders say fans aren't just being cute, they're chasing a dream Christmas episode where Taylor and Kylie sit side by side, answering those iconic New Heights questionnaires Travis once lobbed at Jason and Kylie. Some are even begging for a Thanksgiving edition featuring the duo, which honestly sounds like the Friendsgiving episode we all deserve. And here's why the hype is so feral. Both ladies have crushed it on the show before. Kylie popped in multiple times with cameos and even told that legendary 2023 Tinder date story.
Out years later that he thought that there was evidence in his profile that he played for the Eagles. And he mentioned something about, well, there was a picture of a TV screen.
Yeah.
On a game, I guess it's when he was injured. Or maybe a preseason. And it was part of his profile.
Meanwhile, Taylor's debut back in August basically melted the internet. Not only did she announce the life of a showgirl, but she also shattered a Guinness World Record, pulling in 1.3 million people watching the podcast at the same time. 1 million. Live. For a podcast. Even the Kelces looked like they needed electrolytes after that. Which is hilarious considering the next chapter of this saga dives straight into Jason Kelce turning into the world's most wholesome girl dad like it's his second career. Because yes, the same man who once survived life in a testosterone hurricane with Travis Kelce is now outnumbered by 4 tiny queens who basically run his entire household. Before Jason met Kylie, his whole universe revolved around football. He was stacking Pro Bowls, collecting All-Pro titles, and casually winning a Super Bowl like it was a cute little hobby. From 2011 to his retirement in 2024, he lived and breathed the Eagles, but then he matched with Kylie on Tinder back in 2015, proof that sometimes love does, in fact, swipe right, and suddenly the Kelce family tree sprouted in a whole new direction. They got engaged in 2017, tied the knot in 2018, and then Jason's home quickly transformed from a man cave to a sparkly, glitter-soaked girl world. First came Wyatt, then Elliot, then Bennett, and finally baby Finley, who arrived just 7 months ago with the energy of someone who already knows she's in charge. Fatherhood didn't just soften Jason, it straight up flipped his personality settings. Growing up with Travis meant his childhood home was basically a live-action WWE arena, but now he's talking about nurturing instincts, patience, and being a role model like he's in his soft dad era, sipping emotional chamomile tea on a Sunday morning. He went from growling on the field to being schooled by a 6-year-old on how to properly braid hair. He also admits his priorities did a full rearrange. Football used to be the sun everything orbited around, but once he married Kylie and welcomed the girls, the new galaxy formed fast. Suddenly it was less about representing the Eagles and more about representing the people he loves, which honestly is the kind of plot twist that makes everyone tear up at 3 a.m. for no reason. Of course, Jason hasn't ditched the fun entirely. He's still working on his Kingsford fragrance slow burn, named after his old number 62, which is priced at exactly $30.62, because dad jokes don't quit. And honestly, neither does Travis Kelce, who's rewriting NFL history while the Chiefs are rewriting the definition of stress. 1 minute you're watching Jason Kelce talk about the emotional enlightenment that comes from raising 4 daughters, and next you're staring at Travis, who's still catching touchdowns like he's in his prime while the Chiefs look like they're running a group project where only one guy did the work. 13 seasons in and Travis is still that guy, the tight end who refuses to age, refuses to slow down, and refuses to stop bulldozing his way into the record books. Every week, he's adding another milestone to his resume like he's collecting infinity stones. But the plot twist? While he's thriving, the Chiefs are, well, vibing in the wrong direction. Kansas City just slid to a very humbling 5-5 after a late-game meltdown against the Broncos that had fans staring at the screen like they needed a wellness check. Insiders say that loss hit differently because the Chiefs didn't even play badly. The defense was handling business, giving the offense every chance to close it out, and still, Denver pulls a 3rd and 15 miracle out of nowhere, and suddenly the Chiefs' playoff hopes are shrinking faster than Mahomes' patience. Kansas City sitting outside the playoff picture? In this economy, it feels illegal. And yet, while the Chiefs collected L's, Travis is collecting records like they're on clearance. He just snagged touchdown number 84, officially passing Priest Holmes for the most in franchise history. Add that to his already absurd stack, 1,045 receptions, nearly 12,700 receiving yards, and the man owns basically every statistic the Chiefs have ever cared about. There's no debate left. He's not just the best tight end Kansas City's ever seen, he's one of the greatest the NFL has ever produced. Some are even whispering he is the greatest. And speaking of greatest, Uncle Trav is apparently winning awards in a whole other league, the Niece's Defense Squad, because according to Kylie Kelce, he would dive into some absolute chaos if it meant protecting his 4 tiny partners in crime. Kylie was on her podcast chatting about that viral clip where a kid begged his aunt to sign a bad grade so the parents wouldn't roast him alive, and she instantly said she felt that. Not because she's signing anything herself, she's far too responsible for that.
If they called me to sign a test, I'd be like, drop a pen, give me 10 minutes. And that's 10 minutes to get to you, not 10 minutes until I leave my house. No questions asked.
But because she knows exactly which Kelce would be ready to grab a pen and commit academic forgery with zero hesitation. The same one who stiff-arms fully grown NFL linebackers for a living. Wyatt, Elliott, Bennett, and baby Finley basically have Travis wrapped around their collective pinkies, and Kylie insists that if any one of them marched up and said, "Uncle Trav, I need you to handle something," he'd be in before they finish the sentence. Only catch? Getting the bad news to him in the first place. He's 36 and occasionally misses obvious things, like when he completely whiffed on that time Jason shaved part of his beard for charity and he didn't notice for 3 hours. Kylie joked that by the time her girls are old enough for secret assignments, school might be using virtual signatures anyway, and if that happens, Travis is definitely hitting approve like he's checking out on Amazon. She claims she knows it's for a fact.
I do believe Uncle Trav would do this. I think Uncle Trav wouldn't think twice. It would be difficult to get it to him, but by then there might be like virtual signature for these test situations. And if that is the case, Uncle Trav, I guarantee you, will sign it to send back to school.
And honestly, no one doubts her. This man has the energy of someone who would help a kid hide a broken vase, a failed test, and the evidence, all while offering snacks. That's all for this video, folks. We'll see you next time.